So I guess we're gonna get started now, and I mean we've both been tested. We have our space, so I think that we can take these off.
Yes.
So we can speak well and be able to hear each other. I'm really excited that you're here.
I am too.
I've seen you grow so much in this journey, and I'm so proud to like have you sitting here in this chair and finally be able to do this with you.
I know, we've been trying to do this.
We've been trying to do this for a while. Yep.
I know.
But you know, it's a big deal. You know, we don't do a testimonial of every alumni that comes through our program, and you know, you have to earn that seat. So I just want to start with that. So, I mean, first I just want to ask you, like, what was life growing up for little Mama June?
Growing up in my family, honestly, was like I was kind of like on my own or whatever. My mom worked in the airline industry. My stepdad worked in truck driving. My real dad wasn't around. So I was pretty much just on my own. I could be able to skip school when I wanted to. And then I became pregnant at the age of 14 and kind of moved out of my mom's house. And still today, I don't talk to my mom. Honestly, I would say that becoming pregnant at a young age actually made me grow up really quick. At a very young age, at 14 and 15, I was working 2 or 3 jobs. By the time I was 19, I had 3 kids, and they pretty much grew up in the restaurant business.
When did the addiction, do you believe, really started to take place?
I was around drugs all of my life. My sister was on pills.
Okay.
You know, and so she got sued on with back surgery. Her husband sold dope. So I was around that environment. It just wasn't my thing. Mm-hmm. I started getting my GED, met somebody, wasn't dating him, just became friends with him. And I went from doing nothing to doing speed. Mm. And I realized that with doing speed, I could, at that time it was speed. It wasn't crank. It was crank, Red Rock, Yellow Snow.
How old were you when this was happening?
It was like 21 years ago.
Okay.
I did that off and on for quite many years. I knew I could, because I was working, I knew I could sleep for a few hours and then I could go back to work. I could work the 3 jobs. I could stay up. And at that time I was staying up like maybe 15 days at a time, some days 17 days at a time. So you would get that re-energy. But I moved away in 2005, didn't do anything. Moved back to my hometown in 2014. And it got even worse because I was around my old connects, I was around my old people. And I did that until I met Gino on December 13th, 2015. I had about 2 ounces of meth on me then. He said, hey, he just got out of prison himself. He said, hey, if you want to get to know me, you're going to have to get rid of it. The next morning, I ended up giving it away and haven't touched it since.
What was it like for you, you know, going through an active addiction and the struggle in the public eye? I mean, we saw a lot of this.
Going into the struggles in the public eye was a little bit crazy because everybody wants to blame, like, Gino. But honestly, in my line of work, until you're busted, it's not shown upon because you would go out for the weekend and do something and you would do, like, you would roll. You would do rolls or you would do a little bit of cocaine and then come home and it would be fine. Mm-hmm. Or you would, you know, snort a little bit of Molly or do this or do that. Because I never shot up. And that's just, I'm terrified of needles.
What about the emotional feelings? You know, I mean, you're going through a lot and you're in the public eye. You know, I got to imagine that's hard to be dealing with. Like, how did that make you feel?
It kind of like, it went from like doing the weekend thing because like I said, I was clean December 13th, 2015 off of meth. And then I would say like around 2017, I picked up again. And it just started being like a gram here of cocaine, a gram here of cocaine. But it wasn't like every day. You know what I mean? And then it was like, okay, it kind of numbed that feeling. I could film more. I could be more of a person than I needed to be. I could be a louder personality than I am right now. Could you imagine that?
Oh, boy.
But I mean, I knew I could do what I needed to do. Like, I didn't have to feel like all the demands. So I could get high and do what I needed to do. And then we got busted in 2018, March of 2018. And that's kind of like when the world knew what was going on. So for me, you know, when the world found out that we were using, it was just kind of like, I really wasn't kind of embarrassed. It was like, okay, I don't want to like deal with what the public has to say, even though the fans have always been there. And so I would get even higher, but it came to the point that like it started fucking with me emotionally because me and Gino was actually dealing with it.
I know you've come so far in this past year, but what are some other, you know, goals, aspirations, or things that you're looking forward to continue doing in your recovery?
In my recovery, for and foremost is to worry about myself. And I think that when you're in addiction, it's selfish, and in recovery, it can be selfish too. And, you know, worrying about myself for and foremost, because if not, then my sobriety isn't worth anything. Also, you know, still reconnecting with the girls, spending more time with the kids, being able to talk to them more, being able to just to hang out and just do what we used to do. And also, you know, helping as many people as I can on their sobriety journey and their recovery journey as possible, and ultimately opening up a sober living home. I mean, in my recovery journey, I've learned that, you know, I can't change, you know, the things I cannot change. You know, the serenity prayer is like a big thing. It's on my cup. I have several cups, so it stays with me all the time, so I got to remind myself. You know, the self-love, you know, not having to worry about myself, being able to work on the relationships with my kids that have been kind of strange for, you know, over a year, and just being able to move forward in life, and with a clear sense of head and not have to worry about where I'm going to lay my head at tonight or where I'm going to, you know, where my next meal is going to come up. I don't have to worry about the hustle anymore. I can hustle in a positively way. Hey y'all, I'm just here to let y'all know that if y'all are struggling out there today with your addiction, then call the people at Banyan. From the first phone call to the time you come into the facility to the time you leave and after you leave, they are here to walk the journey with you, and you won't be disappointed.